Is there any hope for White, or would you prefer to him or Pollard as flex rest of the season? Um, my knee jerk reaction would be Pollard, even though the schedule isn't that great for the Titans the rest of the way. But I also think I still think, even in spite of that, I still think I would take Pollard over White rest of the season.
Yeah, Tony Pollard, he's somebody that I haven't been able to get right recently because, especially
It's
this
definitely hit and
past
miss,
week,
man.
the matchup was terrible. He's come off of two of his worst games of the year, which is understandable, against the Chargers and Minnesota. Yesterday it comes out against Houston, another bad matchup on paper.
Yeah.
And it was actually Tony Pollard's most productive game in fantasy, 21.9 PPR points, season high, 24 carries, 119 yards, touchdown, gets 3 of 5 targets for 10 yards. 5 targets, his second most volume of the year. The snaps, I think, close to or ties a season high. Now, he also, that 27 touches, back-to-back games in those bad matchups, he had 9 carries in each and at least 2 receptions. So, the volume went down. I was a little bit worried about Pollard. But seeing this uptick in usage, I feel like we have to buy back in. And Rachaad White, again, we just talked about him, Bucky Irving. Rachaad White is not going to see the volume he saw last year. And that's why everybody loved Rachaad White this year coming back. Well, he's going to get the volume. That volume's gone. I think it's all going to go to Bucky. Maybe he gets that 10 to 12 touch range, which is fine. That makes him extremely reception or touchdown dependent. Tony Pollard, despite having those 2 lulls in opportunity in weeks 10 and 11, he's still averaging over 19 touches per game. 68.3% yards after contact. He's also being targeted on over 13.7% of the routes of the team targets and over 22% of the routes he is running. So rest of season, I want to chase the volume in Tennessee. And this offense looks like it is ascending under Will Levis. Will Levis isn't great, but he's airing it out. And if they can still compile the semblance of a passing attack, then that will open things up even more for Tony Pollard. Rest of season schedule, Washington, Jacksonville twice. You get Jacksonville, bye them again in week 14, end of the fantasy championship. You got the Colts mixed in, Washington next week, and Cincinnati. I'm all in on Tony Pollard over Rachaad White rest of season. If you have to make the trade, make the trade. But if you have him, then I don't think it's a question.
Seemed like he already has him. That's what it seemed like based on his question. But it seemed like he already had him. But yeah, 1,000%. Anthony said it all.